The 2K Sports Pregame Show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. For tonight's game, we'll be watching the Golden State Warriors as they go up against the Indiana Pacers at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Taking a look at the Pacers, they're sitting at 500 over the last 10 games, kind of treading water. They'd really like to make a splash over the next few games. And the Warriors head coach, former three-point ace, Steve Kerr, he has deep knowledge of the game. Also, some front office experience. He's helped establish a great culture for this organization, Kenny.
Well, he set some core values, you know. He wanted you to have compassion, competitiveness, and mindfulness. You know, throw in a sprinkle of joy, and then all of a sudden you have
the makings of a great day.
No doubt. There it is, and a lot of fun to play.
And you know, with all those great recipes, Kenny, I think it's part of how they lured KD to the team. Got to credit Steve. He helped lay the blueprint.
Has your day been filled with compassion and mindfulness and joy so far, Shaq?
Always sit next to you, Ernie.
Oh man. Yeah. How about you, Kenny?
Oh, man, you just put some butter on that toast, man. Golly.
Don't forget the jam.
I hope this show never ends.
A look from above the skyline of the city of Indianapolis, Indiana, where we'll be bringing you today's action. Welcome, basketball fans, to a very special Veterans Day edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and David Aldridge is joining us from the sideline. Pacers looking to make the most out of their home court advantage here in Indianapolis. Still trying to find that groove they had last year. They'd like to grab hold of some new momentum and get closer to where they were a season ago.
Yeah, and they've been playing a lot of basketball here of late, Kevin. This is their third game in 4 days, and the league didn't make it easy for them when they set up the schedule like this.
And as things get ready to roll, let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's on the sideline. David?
Well, Kevin, Klay Thompson continues to be happy with his role on the Warriors. He said winning is so much fun. It's one thing to put up numbers, and it's another to sacrifice and be on the best team in the NBA. I'll take the latter every time. At the end of the day, people are going to remember championships. That's what it's all about. That's absolutely right. Kevin?
Thanks, David. That's the mindset you have to have. In the end, winning titles should be the ultimate goal. And both these teams have no problem, Steve, pouring in the points. You have to be excited about all the scoring we're about ready to see.
Yeah, Kevin, I'm excited. The first team to 100 in the third quarter is probably going to win this game. These two teams play. They play up and down, and they want to score.
All the fans will enjoy this one.
Yes, they cannot leave their seat because there's some plays that will be made above the rim.
So Golden State will get the first possession. Now Golden State's starting five. The sharpshooters Curry and Thompson are at the 1 and the 2. Inside, we've got Draymond at the 4 and Pachulia to his side. And it's Durant in at the small forward position. With the way the Warriors romped in the playoffs and how stacked their team is, Steve, is a team like Golden State or really any team this talented good for the NBA?
It's a question that was asked a lot last season and will get asked a lot this season. I love the way this team plays. I think they play with such greatness and unselfishness. All the other 29 teams, they just have to catch up.
And I'll bet that's what they talked about before the game, getting the ball inside early.
Floats one. It's hauled in by Kevin Durant. And it's the Warriors with the ball. They're coming off that win against Minnesota.
And in that one, it was all about shutting down the paint. They were just terrific in terms of their rim protection.
It was big-time shot blocking. They were energetic, intimidating, and that really affected the outcome.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
A lot of laziness going on out there. Still early in the game, but that needs to get worked out.
Now, here's Thompson. He's coming off a 28-point game against Minnesota.
Practice makes perfect. Thompson is just lights out on these shots.
Turner with the screen. No good on that one. Excellent D there from Pachulia. Durant in the corner for three. Pacers with the rebound. This game coming on the heels of their win against Chicago.
Yeah, tough place to play on the road, and you just saw how comfortable they were shooting the basketball.
Well, we have to give credit to the coaching staff. Terrific offensive strategy. Got them some great looks.
Oladipo misses. A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. The Warriors on top, up by 1. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports. And certainly one of the game's bigger personalities, Draymond Green, had this to say about his approach to leadership.
Most importantly, it's just about how the guys respond to me. And, just really bringing that energy and that attitude and that fire each and every night, every day, whether it's in practice, whether it's, in the game, whatever it is, just always bringing that energy and that passion.
A heart and soul guy, Draymond Green has the kind of spirit, guys, that everyone else can just kind of feed off of.
Yeah, his talents and contributions now being appreciated. He's forced his way into the discussion of top 10 players in our league.
Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. What do you guys think about the Warriors here so far?
I really thought that everything seemed to fall into place for them in that first quarter.
Sometimes you have a quarter where everything just goes according to plan. Superb start to this game for them.
Sabonis is out there with Leaf. Then there's Oladipo. Then it's Corey Joseph. And it's Stevenson in at the 3, the small forward. So that's the group out there for Indiana.
Iggy is so creative down low, just overwhelming the defense with his athleticism.
Every so often, Steve, Andre Iguodala will dial it back to when he was younger and remind you of what he once was, one of the best players in the NBA, one of the most athletic players in the league. Now he usually saves that for big moments or when the team needs him to be that kind of player.
You're so right. You remember last season when Kevin Durant went down, Iguodala played fantastic basketball in Durant's absence. You almost felt like Iguodala is holding back until he's needed the most.
The free throw drops for Iguodala.
The free throw line is something that Iggy needs to work on. He's hit or miss from there.
And both free throws good for Iguodala. And the Pacers with the longest standing ownership in the NBA.
And that's a lot to be proud of for Pacers fans. I mean, Indiana, a state that loves basketball. And the Pacers haven't won fewer than 32 games since 1989. So they're always in the fold in terms of being competitive.
Just 5 to shoot. Oladipo, good.
I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
Livingston kicks to Green. He feeds it to Iguodala. Here's McCall, guarded by Oladipo. And the wide open shot from Green. Sinks the triple. Green's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
Green's ability to nail perimeter shots is what causes defenses headaches. His shooting really spaces out the floor.
Snatched away. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks.
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
No doubt that could be a gigantic swing in momentum given how that sequence developed.
And it's the Pacers with the ball. Following the score by Golden State. Shot clock at 6. Oladipo with the ball. Now Green defending.
Yeah, and even with his range, that one might be asking a little too much.
Well, the truth is, he probably makes this shot a little more often than he should, so it's hard to resist.
And we're through the first half of basketball here, and what's been a good one. Warriors lead by 4. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much. Draymond, of course, not unusual to see you going up against bigger players. So how do you take advantage of that offensively?
I mean, you just got to take advantage of mismatches. You know, most of the time there's a big guy on me. If not, there's usually somebody trying to switch off. You know, I just got to know when to pop and just take advantage of the mismatches.
You've done just that in the first half. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, folks. Welcome back. Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. This is the halftime show on 2K Sports. Golden State found themselves in a close game in the first. They were able to squeeze ahead by the end of the period with just a 1-point lead. If you look at the second quarter scoring, they had a small edge. They really hung tough as we got close to halftime. Taking a look at the Warriors, Kenny, what'd you think?
I was super impressed with their shot selection. I think that was part of the strategy coming in. They wanted to be patient with the basketball, move it around, and get high percentage looks. Obviously, that's going to be big.
Shaq, your take on Indiana.
Well, on offense, I'd like to see them play inside out more. Attack the basket, generate easy points. And then once the defense collapses, kick it out to the perimeter for open looks. Trust me, I know. Rick Fox, Big Shot Bob, that's all we did.
And that wraps up halftime as the game is set to get back underway. Let's send it to Kevin Harlan and crew, standing by courtside.
A flyover of downtown gives you a great perspective of our location as we welcome you back to Indianapolis. Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. One of the stories here, Draymond Green getting it done today.
Yeah, and night after night, man, it just becomes common to watch him rip through teams, and that's exactly what we saw there in the first half.
What I admire is his consistency. Some guys get it done every other night. He gets it done every night.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. So for the Golden State Warriors right now, offense and defense with Durant and Draymond at the 3 and the 4. It's the Splash Brothers, Curry and Clay in the backcourt. And it's Pachulia in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Smitty, we have a question sent in by a viewer. They want to know if you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what food would you pick? And got anything for that?
You know what? Kevin, that's a good question. There's so many, especially my mom's cooking. But I'm going to go with shrimp fried rice. That's the one I think I would eat for the rest of my life.
One shot.
When you watch the Warriors play, their offense is a work of art. There's so much player movement and passing, it's impossible to cover. And the shooting they have, it just puts it over the top.
And Thompson gets it to go.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
And Young kicks to Oladipo. Screened by Young. It's stolen by Green. On the wing, Thompson. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. That's now 8 points for Klay Thompson. And, Steve, the common mistake fans have with the Warriors is thinking they only make threes to score. It's a combination of a lot of things, and I think it just overwhelms defenders.
You know, one thing that comes to mind to me is they pick out the Warriors in mismatches or lose a defender on great screens. They're amazing at that. They force defenders to make a ton of split-second decisions. One mistake, and it's easy for them to score.
Here's Pachulia. Bogdanovich picking up that last basket. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Great decision from Draymond to go up into the D there with his big body. Such an intelligent player. Many can argue at this point that Draymond should have had 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards. Arguably one of the most impactful defenders of this generation. Can take over a game without ever scoring a point.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Free throw drops for Green. And taking over without scoring is a Draymond specialty, Steve. You think back to his triple-double with points not being one of those categories.
Kevin, Draymond is just an amazingly unique player in the NBA with his defense. Can actually guard positions 1 through 5, plays his best defense when the moment matters the most.
Both shots good from the stripe. You know, for all the great things that Draymond Green does on the basketball floor, perhaps his greatest asset, Steve, is his ability to be a leader. Other MVPs and All-Stars will defer to him to set up the defense and get going on offense.
You know, Kevin, that's what we do at Michigan State. That's the kind of player and leader that Draymond has been his whole career. Doesn't care about stats, only cares about winning. Willing to step up and take the big shot as well.
Pacers trail by 8. 3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Young outside. And the pass to Sabonis. It's hauled in by Kevin Durant.
I'll tell you what, despite the miss, he's going to be looking for that same shot again.
Right side Curry. And the lead now, double digits on that bucket.
You got to play better defense on Stephen Curry. Too skilled.
And so it's the Golden State Warriors going into the break with a 10-point lead. Their shooting has been the big key. Their percentage from the field so far has been terrific. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. Now let's listen in to head coach Steve Kerr.
Great start, fellas. Clay, your cutting is awesome. Your movement without the ball is brilliant. Great stuff.
Good to hear that. Complimenting the motion. Steve Kerr likes this offense and how it's running right now.
And when the players and the ball never seem to stop, it really prevents a defense from getting set and digging in.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up. 2K Sports, happy to have you with us. Lance Stevenson is out there with Collison. Then it's Young. Then there's Bojan Bogdanovic. And it's Sabonis in at the 5. That's the Pacers 5. And the replay brought to you by Under Armour, the Unleash Chaos moment, giving us a better perspective on just how far behind the line he was on that 3-ball. Now, here's Stevenson. Bucket is good. Warriors leading by 11. West a screen on Collison. Curry dishes to West. Feeds it to Thompson. West setting the pick for Iguodala. Good D by Bogdanovic.
Yeah, blown opportunity after the two-man game creates a terrific look.
That's how it's drawn up. That is, everything but the finish.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter. Just served him up.
Curry passes to Thompson. Curry against Collison. Curry's shot is good. And the Warriors lead by 11.
Tremendous effort here on the road. That plane ride home is going to be sweet.
They better have some extra goodies on that plane, because after this blowout, they deserve to be rewarded.
Timeout called the Pacers. They're down by 11. There's 49 seconds left in the game. And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Steph Curry.
And his percentage from the field tonight seems almost made up. I didn't think it was possible to have that kind of success shooting the basketball. You need a little bit of luck, a bunch of hard work, and a whole lot of talent.
Well, to come in here facing a hostile crowd and have a game like he's had, that's what separates the good players from the great players. Miles Turner, he's checked in for the Pacers. Victor Oladipo comes in for Lance Stevenson. Curry gets the bucket.
And just putting the finishing touches on this one, they have been on fire.
I mean, a fantastic run. The guys are really clicking, and the scoreboard reflects that.
Now here's Collison. Inside, looking for Oladipo. He gets it there. Hammers the alley-oop through.
And what can you say about an alley-oop from that far away?
You can't say anything. It was pure beauty. And here is Curry. So we see the Warriors taking the game here. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give them any chance to lift their team up at the finish.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. Now, for Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA here on 2K Sports. See you later.